I always think of Jahman as a ghost worker. And by that I mean that you don't know how he achieves what he achieves because you don't actually seem to see him ever at work on it. But somehow the results appear. I think he's an instinctive artistic facilitator. So that if you give him a task, a chore, and he promotes culture without promoting himself.
Many of us owe a lot to you. A guidance, mentorship, and for me in particular, I'm grateful for all that you have done. You've always been there, and I can't thank you enough. Diamonds are forever, and may the Almighty and all the Orishas guide your steps and bless you also. Amon, Agbalenda you, Ogami. There are areas where you need to slow down and then adjust. But of course, I know that you know what it takes and you know what to do. May the Almighty continue to bless you. Happy birthday, boss.
Some of my episodes in the long narrative of my brotherhood with Jahman are not going to be pleasant in polite company, let's say. And I'm sure most of you have your own stories and funny episodes in your lifetime and life journeys with Jahman. Jahman and I have worked together, we've lived together, we've traveled together within Nigeria, across Africa, in Europe, in the United States, and indeed in Haiti, where we recently were with Professor Shoyinka. In this journey of life, Jahman comes to this landmark turning point of 60. But I just want to say, if anything, it brings together many years of dedicated service to the art and culture scene. Some of you know him in the edit room. Some of you know him in organizing one festival or the other. If it's not IREP, it's Cora. If it's not this, it's that. If it's not the birthday of one of our legends, it's the other. But he's just the man that's always constant. He's the person we want to refer to when we're talking to our own children, that this is what dedication, focus, and clarity of purpose means. That's what Jahman Anikulapo stands for.
A piece of newspaper hemming and hawing about a particular writer of this was the name Jahman Anikulapo. Now the column where this newspaper was, where this story was published, was the arts page, the 4-page arts segment of the Democrat, and everybody was sure that the name Jahman Anikulapo was a fictional name, and I was Benton Moloju, the owner of the column, who actually wrote the piece. He just didn't want to put his name because his name was already everywhere. This was 84, and you were still in University of Ibadan. So your name was resonating in the Guardian. People were talking about you without knowing you even existed, because they attributed the piece that you wrote to your mentor, to somebody who, was already a very experienced journalist and, had become a defining idea of what arts and culture journalism was supposed to be. So I remember very vividly Chuksulu Bunam was a senior journalist at that time. He, myself, and Taiwobe, I was the youngest reporter among the group of people who were, basically exulting at what you had written. And Chuk said, this is an interesting story, but why is he not putting his name now? He was referring to Benton Moloju. And that the fact that this name, Jahman, which means, some kind of, a man of God, in the Rastafarian balance. And Anikulapo, which is the son, which was already Fela's surname as of that time. will not be a regular name. It will be. So that's how you came. That's how I know that I first really met you. Before we then met in the This Week newsroom in 1986.
Jahman is first and foremost an artist. He is a thespian. He studied and began on stage as a performer. So his passion for the arts is rooted organically in what he is. And that passion runs deep. I have had the pleasure of his performance in some of my work, my TV series Battleground, and also my feature film Giddy Blues, an example. So when he is critiquing a film or stage play or writing about the arts, he is able to understand and analyze the story and the storyteller with professional integrity because he is one of us. Jahman also is an astute intellectual who comes to an issue well prepared with relevant research information and contribution that is cogent and insightful. He reads voraciously, so he is a consumer of art of all genres. He engages the creators of art widely across the globe, but he is also deeply connected to academia, and in any other country, Jahman Anikulapo will be a professor.
As it is today, I'm still trying to even reconcile so many things about Jahman that I could not reconcile, starting with his name, which is quite a quiz, to his ability to function with such perfection in so many areas. Is it about his humanity? Is it about his brilliance? Is it about his generosity of spirit? Is it about his kindness? Is it about his depth of knowledge, especially in things creative that I want to talk about? He has influenced me in so many ways that even he cannot imagine.
I'd like to say 60 hearty cheers and celebrate a worthy gentleman, one who sticks by anyone who comes his way and is always ready to help, always ready to assist, always ready to cheer on. Here's one that you've cheered on. Here's one that has learned about humility, resilience, dedication, passion, and doggedness to a cause in the 5 to 7 years that we have partnered with LABAF and one or two other projects. Thank you for cheering us on at Koramo. Here's to 60, 70, 80 more years. I thank God for making our paths cross. And I wish you well in all your endeavors. And I hope that God meets you at your every point of need. And that secret wish that you wish for, because it is 60, He will grant it to you.
Not only are you a good person, a dear friend, a collaborator of good causes and worthy causes, but you are also an editor par excellence, a journalist who knows his onions, a cultural activist who understands exactly how society should proceed and what are the major issues in the society to bring to attention and how to use culture to promote our very essence. I have seen you all over the years demonstrate a very good understanding of issues, but also demonstrated the kind-heartedness that makes for a good friend and somebody that has a very, very commendable public spirit.
And Sir J turns 60. You know, you're my brother, you're my friend, you're a phenomenal man. You've been with us through this 19 years journey of having terror culture from the very get-go. I met you in Abuja, if you recollect, and you've been firm like the Iroko tree, just solid, you know, always encouraging, always cheering us on, you know, just always had my back. And I celebrate you for that. I celebrate the great man that you are. I celebrate the fact that you're just a good human being. I celebrate the fact that you love the arts and you do it wholeheartedly without expecting any form of reward. I celebrate the fact that you have been with us, just pushing and looking out for the best for everyone in this space. Sajay, as I fondly call you, I wish you long life, I wish you good health. I wish you peace. And I wish you all those things that make life beautiful for all of us. You're simply the best. With much love.
Can't believe it was 10 years ago that you were trying to run away from the practically week-long celebrations for your 50th. Well, somehow, still looking practically the same, if not younger, slimmer, youthful, and still amazingly full of way too much energy. Baba J, the workaholic, I mean, the work ethic is just ridiculous. It's an addiction, which I keep making fun of Baba J about. During IREP, when we started IREP from the beginning, Femi and I discussing how to get things done, and Jahman is just there holding meetings on his laptop, banging out brochure, design. And then during IREP, first to get there in the morning, last practically to leave at night, with a microphone always in hand and towel on the shoulder. I keep saying that someday I'm going to run into Jahman, and if I don't see a microphone in his hand, I won't recognize him. He's glued to that microphone and that towel on his shoulder.
It's been a long journey, man. It's been a long journey. You know, going back and recalling our days as undergrads, even though you went to the wrong school, but crossing paths as undergrads, which is now almost 40 years ago, man, that's a long, long time, bro. So happy birthday. The clock ticks, but I'm happy that we've continued to keep a very close association, a close friendship, a close bond. And I don't know anybody who sacrifices as much as you have, as much as you continue to do for the art scene, continue to do for writers, filmmakers, performers, the entertainment industry. You're an institution, man. You're a total institution, and one that's very worthy of respect. And I'm so happy that friends came together to do this, mark this celebration today, and on this anniversary of your, how would I put it? I would say it's the 30th anniversary of your 30th birthday.
World Poetry Day, for instance, is always behind the scenes somewhere and occasionally appears, I notice, during the workshops. And the younger generation you're talking about should, what I call, should try and emulate a pick from the sort of bridge between, shall we say, my generation and theirs, and the younger, and which is actually ably and creatively represented by people like Jahman.
Thank you, Jahman, for your passion, for your sacrifice, for your interventions, and for your support of so many artists and creators. Your footprints are indelible in the sands of time, and my family joins the global art and culture community to celebrate you, sir. Happy birthday, brother. We love you.
I pray for you, Jahman, that as your days are, so shall your strength, favor, and wisdom be. Go get them even at 60, Jahman. Happy birthday.
Boss of life, here is wishing you 60 bosas as you hit diamond.
It only gets better from here on. You can tell people to take a hike boldly, and you can also tell people, listen, you need a nap, because you've done it, you've seen it, and you will continue to do it with consistency and loyalty. Thank you for being in each and every one of our lives. I thank you for being in my life. I just can't account for my life without you being an active part of it. Thank you, and happy birthday to you, Jahman.
What do I wish for him? Just continue the same way as he's doing, and be productive, and facilitate, and also assist in identifying young talents, which has been doing quite capably.
Here is wishing the most gentle, troublesomeless, no wahala person, very understanding, Jahman Anikulapo, a very happy birthday. And now.
Happy birthday, sir.
Yeah! Yeah!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! What's going on? What's the meaning of all this? You're going to carry your book and read.